It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
I like that one.
A gorgeous nighttime view of historic Boston, Massachusetts, lighting up the twilight sky. It's game time in Boston as the crowds look to cheer on the Celtics. Looking at Toronto, they took the win in their last game against the Indiana Pacers. It was just a textbook performance. That game was all theirs. Once they got it going, it was full speed ahead.
And in that game, guys, I mean, the beneficiary of what was some very lackluster defense being played against them.
Agreed, guys. It was really quite shocking and disappointing how many free runs to the hoop they got.
So let's take a look at the Toronto Raptors starting lineup. Mr. Clutch out there with DeRozan. Then it's Scola. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas. And it's Carroll in at the 3, the small forward.
Boy, once again, the Raptors were able to put forth a really strong year. You know, the national media recognized that the Raptors picked up more and more of the spotlight marquee games as a result.
And Kevin, who says a point guard should look to pass first? I mean, not when you can finish like this stuff.
Well, Clark, he wasn't going to give that opportunity up to a teammate.
Well, you know, Kevin, that's one he'll always take himself. And he should. I mean, you can't pass up that kind of opportunity or fun.
Well, for a long time, Greg, the Raptors didn't have a lot of nationally broadcast games in the U.S. Seemed like a forgotten team at times, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you know what? A playoff drop is one of the ways that ended that factor. Also, the team plays an exciting brand of basketball. They're a division winner to go along with that. So you start adding those things up, and you see why the Raptors continue to get more and more coverage nationally. And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
Thomas with the ball. He's coming off a 22-point game against Philadelphia.
And they were just struggling to stop him. They sent him to the line over and over, and free throws were a big part of the game.
Now DeRozan, after Jared Sullinger's three-pointer that didn't go. Valanciunas passes to Mr. Clutch. Shot is off.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
Thomas dishes to Sullinger. From outside the arc. And Sullinger missing. Toronto's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. And DeRozan kicks to Valanciunas. Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. The wide open look here for DeRozan. Offline with his 3.
And Isaiah Thomas traded last season from Phoenix over to Boston. Seemed to be a matter of fit and not production as to why they moved.
That's good. Here's Mr. Clutch. 8 points for him. Now we'll go to DB, who had a chance to talk with head coach Brad Stevens.
He told me there aren't many big men with the mobility and length of Jonas Valanciunas, and that he's a player they'll really have to account for, saying, quote, JV's still developing his skill set, but there just aren't that many people in the world of his size, and you factor in his motor, he can really impact the game. Guys, we'll see how they try to deal with him.
Thank you, Doris. Just 5 on the clock. Boston needs to get off a shot. Crowder. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Puts up a 3. And again, no good by Toronto.
You can't miss those, but even the best do on occasion.
Bradley can't get it to go.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Well, the defenders have to make sure they tag it.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Thomas with the steal. And now it's Bradley running. He can go all the way. Plays it in off the breakaway.
That is up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate in the open court when a steal triggers the break.
And really, basketball is about rhythm, and that allows your offense to flow better. Now let's see if they can build on it and keep this lead.
Shot by Crowder, no good.
You know, Dwayne Casey was once a player at Kentucky, took me and hosted me on my recruiting visit. at Kentucky back in 1979. Actually got his coaching start at the school as well.
And now, the first timeout call here for Boston. As we were talking about Coach Dwayne Casey, he's found his place in Toronto. Took them, Greg, to back-to-back postseason appearances.
And, you know, it's good to see him finally establishing himself as a head coach. Really known as a defensive specialist, but once he gets in charge of a team, he'll have them focused on defense and really stresses that in every practice.
Nice shot by Smart.
Not phased at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, well, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Here's Mr. Clutch. Marcus Smart picking up that last basket. Three-pointer in the hoop for his fourth field goal. 4 for 7 shooting and looking for more.
He's finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's having.
Outside Thomas. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And Valanciunas kicks to Carroll. Here's Mr. Clutch. His 3 pointers off the mark. And Celtics head coach Brad Stevens lured away from a very... I wonder if Coach Brad Stevens feels like he's recruiting another college class with all those draft picks Boston is stockpiled.
Well, I don't know how he would address that question, but I do know he's feeling real good about his decision. I mean, taking the Celtics to the playoffs in just his second season, I think he's one of the bright coaching stars in the NBA today. It was the NBA's game and college basketball's loss. He moved on to the Celtics.
Well said. Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. When you consider how the Celtics are doing, guys, what jumps out to you, Stretch?
It's been a point of emphasis, no doubt, to make sure they attack the rim offensively.
I love the fact they're not settling for outside shots. Keep attacking that rack.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So the Raptors 5 right now. They've got Jonas Valanciunas. Jamari Carroll is out there with Stewart. And it's Mr. Clutch. And it's DeRozan in at the 2. Toronto's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. We're watching Amir Johnson Clark, who seems so casual but silently destroying opponents in the paint. He's carried that air about him almost his entire career.
You know what? He's rarely had plays called for him, Kevin. He doesn't produce a bunch of highlights, but he's really potent. I mean, one of the league's best at defending opponents at the rim, grabbing in-traffic rebounds. Those both are valuable assets.
Here's Smart following the score by DeMar DeRozan. Lee sets a screen for Bradley. 4 on the clock. Puts it up from 17. Rebounded by Valanciunas.
And talking about Amir Johnson, he's really the last of a discontinued model, if you will. When the Pistons called his name in the 2005 NBA draft, the year before the rookie age limit was put in place, he became the last 18-year-old drafted into our league. And it did take him a number of years to kind of get up to the pro speed.
Now here's Carroll after the miss from Evan Turner. And he gets it to go. And that's 15 points for Mr. Clutch.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Lee kicks to Johnson. No one near Turner as he lets it go. Kept alive by Boston. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Toronto.
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
And also another aspect of their game that's been super so far tonight is how they've been sharing the basketball.
Austin making a switch here. Crowder's checked in.
Guys, did you know not once in Johnson's 10 seasons has he averaged more than 11 points or 7.5 rebounds a game? Sometimes he doesn't even start, and yet there's a certain sect of followers who feel Amir Johnson is among the most valuable, efficient players in the league.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
Johnson the screen. Off the screen. Here's Lee, and it's blocked by DeRozan. Pass to Mr. Clutch. Back to DeRozan. Passes it to Mr. Clutch. Fades and shoots. Got it. Number 7 on the night. 7 for 11 from the floor.
Now he's starting to pick up from what he accomplished in the first quarter, where he made 3 of his 3-point attempts.
There's the pick. Kicks to Bradley. There's the 3. And that one's good. Bradley's got his second bucket of the night.
And they're just raining threes on both ends.
Boy, I love the answer. You come at me with the 3, I'm coming right back with my own triple.
Now, here's DeRozan. A 17-point game for him in the win against Indiana. And Lee pulls it down. Lee's got his 3rd rebound on the night. And here's Crowder. Screen by Lee. The feed to Turner. Pass to Lee. It's stolen by Valanciunas. Now the Raptors moving it up. Throws up. And DeRozan throws it down.
He threw down that 360 like it was no problem at all. That's insane skill.
The guys on the bench are just falling all over themselves.
Yeah, they loved it.
We should as well. No doubt that will be one of the plays of the year.
You look at Mr. Clutch. He's really been playing well.
He's dialed in from long range. They got to stay in his hip pocket and deny him the catch.
And some changes here for the Celtics. Tyler Zeller's checked in for Lee. Jared Sullinger comes in for Johnson. And Thomas subbed in for Turner. Got a piece of it. Here's DeRozan. Another miss by DeRozan.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Pick by Zeller. Thomas passes to Sullinger. He dishes it to Crowder, and it's blocked, but he stays with it. Thomas, it's an open look. Preston again missing. Raptors leading by 5. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Over to the left wing. Outside Carroll. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Well, they're not afraid to just let it fly from here. They didn't have as much success in the first quarter, but with this lead, they're looking to extend it with the 3-point shot.
Here's Bradley. 5 points in the game. Sullinger the screen. Thomas goes in. And the rejection by Valanciunas. Here's Sullinger. And it's good. But hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay monitor. And the teams are going to have to wait before heading to the locker room. They're going to bring out the monitor. And the first half.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille. The first quarter for the Raptors was fairly even. The biggest lead of the quarter was only 3 points. And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest.
And now the third quarter about to get going.
Talk about complete control. Everything working in this one for Mr. Clutch. He has 18 points, and those 4 3-pointers he's hit have helped him too.
No doubt, Clark. They'd be in a much different position this game if he wasn't knocking down those triples.
Thomas is the point with Bradley to his side. Sullinger and Zeller are the duo down low. And it's Crowder in at the small forward. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. Celtics trail by 10. Thing about DeMar DeRozan, he came into the league fairly unpolished. Struggled to handle the ball, created then his own shot, and but sometimes he would create for others too. But he settled down. You can see the growth.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. You could see the physical talent was there in terms of him playing the two. The question was, could he make the commitment mentally to become a great player? Well, from what he's done the last few years, I would have to say he's definitely been able to do that.
Sullinger the screen. He feeds it to Bradley. Sullinger a screen on DeRozan. And it's Bradley off the drive. Rebound by the Raptors. Valanciunas has got 4 rebounds in this game.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
And Bradley gets it to go.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Carroll, no one around him. And there are the Raptors with another bucket.
Well, it's been a great start for this offense here in the second half. 4 for 4.
And offensively, they've been struggling. He just wants to get them back into a good flow and stop forcing shots.
Well, Greg, the misses started piling up. Things kind of snowballed on him in that regard. This is a good timeout to kind of calm his guys down and hit the reset button.
And a new group in for the Celtics. Kelly Olynyk checked in for Zeller. Lee comes in for Jared Sullinger. Turner's checked in for Jay Crowder. And Smart subbed in for Bradley. And Toronto also making a switch. Lowry's checked in. Here's Lee. Boston again missing.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
The Celtics really seem to get better as last season wore on, too. GA finished the year looking very dangerous.
And Kevin, with the Celtics, they were dynamite after the All-Star break. Had the second-best record in the Eastern Conference post-All-Star. And that put back about as easy a bucket as you're going to get.
Exactly what happens when you don't box out, Greg.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, GA, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that. You know, one of the big things for the Celtics after the All-Star break was they played smarter. I mean, they went from the middle of the pack in terms of turnovers to a team that rarely made mistakes.
Yeah, that's a good point about the Celtics and their turnovers. Last year, after the All-Star break, they were 4th in the league in limiting their mistakes. They played well beyond their years down the stretch.
And Thomas, here we go. He got right to the cup using that screen. Thomas got 8 points.
You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
Lowry kicks to Scola. Lee with the steal. And Smart with a clear path to the hoop. Drops in the breakaway lane.
It's as if the defense just let him go.
He'll thank them for that because he got a chance to perform a little razzle-dazzle on that one.
And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
For Toronto, they have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. Celtics trail by 14. Right side, Thomas. 1:27 left to play here in the third. Charity swipe shot. And the shot no good, a bit short.
And that's a well-contested shot.
Well, we've seen him before. He does not allow you to just get easy baskets. He's always going to make you work for it.
And how thrilled must have Evan Turner been last season to get a second chance card with the boost in minutes, confidence, the coaching staff. His game almost just changed overnight.
He's a guy who needs the basketball. He's such a good, solid playmaker and has excellent size. Never had a chance in Indiana to really handle the ball and play to his strengths because of Paul George and Lance Stevenson, but he found a nice niche in Boston.
Well, you know what he can do after watching him for so many years with the Buckeyes.
Yeah, he's terrific. Good basketball IQ, too.
The dish to Carroll. Takes the 3. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Feeds to Thomas. The 3. Good, and Smart gets the assist. 14 points for Isaiah Thomas.
We've seen a noticeable improvement out of him since halftime. He didn't have a whole lot working in the first half.
It's tipped. And a fast break now for the Celtics. Smart leading the charge.
And sometimes when you want something done, you got to do it yourself. That dunks the shot and the arm they need to really cut into that lead.
Well, Greg, it certainly got everybody on their bench up and off their seats and cheering.
Yeah, that could be an instant momentum shift. That certainly was a rim wrecker.
Thomas goes in, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's his first trip to the line.
And, you know, guys, he had a big game at the free throw line in their last out.
Matter of fact, a lot of his points came from the stripe. He was feeling it. Yeah, that's a great asset to have, guys, for any team. Coming down the stretch in close games, you've got a guy who's confident and very good at the line. When he steps up there, you feel good.
Well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. Boston with the ball. They trail by 9 points, setting the floor for the Raptors. Scola out there with Jonas Valanciunas. Then it's Damari Carroll. Then there's Lowry. And it's Mr. Clutch into the 1 spot.
Well, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can't make excuses for missing that.
A 3-ball. Raptors get it back.
He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
I tell you what, I think he'd be happy if he can continue to get looks like that.
Sullinger with a screen for Thomas. And play stops. This on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Yeah, good call there. I mean, feet clearly moving when he set the screen.
And he lowered the shoulder, too. I mean, they were going to get him there one way or the other. I mean, that was an easy call.
That one is stuck right through.
And, folks, he does more than just put 2 points onto their lead. He does it with a little bit of flair.
He sure does. You're right. It's a dazzling move to the bucket for him.
I'll tell you what, he may not be the biggest man in the league, guys, but he more than makes up for that lack of size with amazing aerial skills.
Sullinger outside. Dishes to Bradley. Shot on the wing. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Raptors leading by 11. Here's Mr. Clutch. It's hauled in by Thomas. Thomas got 3 rebounds now in this one.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Kia. Good stuff on that Kia Slam Cam. Now a timeout called by Boston.
Guys, that makes it 2 straight seasons now that the Raptors have been the cream of the crop in the Atlantic Division. Ended the season with a franchise best 49-33 record.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Brad Stevens was giving to his team. He didn't exactly take it easy on them, saying, how much do you want it? Don't tell me. Show me out there. We have to play better. We have to play harder if we're going to come back. Guys?
Well, for the Raptors, they won the Atlantic last year. Did so by a wide margin, Greg, than they had won it back in 2014.
Yeah, they ended the year with that 9-game lead over second place. And the Raptors have great fans, and it's good to see the franchise be able to take home a couple of those division titles.
Here's Mr. Clutch. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It's on Jared Sullinger.
Well, you can see a change in the play with the Celtics after the trade deadline last year. Adding Isaiah Thomas gave them some pop off the bench and really created some balance for them offensively.
Lee's checked in for Boston. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Poked loose and out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession. And that was something the Celtics needed, adding Thomas, a player that could come in and provide Clark instant offense for them off the bench.
And, Kevin, I think that was a turning point for him last year. I mean, they saw that they had a chance to make a big leap forward after the trade and responded accordingly.
Wide open. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good.
Okay, that's more like it. A nice job here in the second. And their field goal percentage is way up compared to what they did in the first half, where they shot a very low percentage.
Putting on a show for these people.
I cannot believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. Are you kidding me?
Tell you what, Mama always said, if you got it, flaunt it.
Let it fly. Let it fly.
Mama said that. It's stolen by Bradley. Now here's Crowder. He's covered closely. The three from Thomas, and another field goal in his total. Make it 7 for 14, shooting 50%.
Well, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
To the right side. Back to DeRozan. Lots of room. That's good. And the Raptors lead by 12.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
Bradley dishes to Thomas. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for Toronto.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
They knocked down their shots. I mean, a little luck didn't hurt either. A lot of their 50-50 shots went in the basket.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And it's always nice to get win number one against an opponent you'll be seeing a total of 4 times over the course of the year. They really set the tone tonight for their season series against the Celtics.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Mr. Clutch. He just looked like an orchestrator out there. His teammates kept running to the open spot, and he found them time and time again.
And a whole new group out on the floor for the Celtics.
And Toronto had a strong season against the East last year. They would end up with 33 wins against their own conference and earn that 4 seed in the East.
There's the pass to Rozier. He kicks to Smart. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
And that's what the pump fake's there for. Get your man off his feet and drive right around him.
Marcus Smart was drafted to the Celtics as their future point guard. He came in with a lot of work to do and a skill set that people really like. But his first season, Clark, was a roller coaster.
Yeah, it really was. He was an off guard in high school and in his first year of college as well. Really only played full-time at the point the year before he was drafted.
Well, for the Raptors, they can just run out the clock. Outside Carroll. Rebound by Olynyk. Now Smart. Pass to Rozier. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. And now a chance to check out some of the tremendous play tonight. Just a monstrous first quarter of the game. He came out hot and just never cooled down. That boost he gave his team early on, a huge factor.
He accounted for more than half of their points. An amazing output. When there was a bucket they absolutely had to have, he was the guy they went to. Now that's an awful lot for one player, but he did not.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this evening. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Hart.